Hello, friends. It is Zach Elizabeth Grantham here for 93.1 Katy Country. We got Big Dave from Mad Rock 1025. He is here as well. Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm excited because I'm ready for the show to already be done because I'm ready to head over to Denison so we can kick this thing off of this drive-through distribution event for our Share the Warmth donation drive. Because, I mean, we had to do everything completely different this year. I mean, everything in 2020 has been different. We had to just rethink the entire thing about how we do the Share the Warmth donation drive. So instead of coats and hoodies this year, we're doing blankets and socks because those are the most requested items, usually from senior citizen organizations and veterans shelters and also homeless shelters. And thanks to our friends at the Texoma Family Shelter and City Credit Union and all of our listeners from Katy Country and Mad Rock and KLAK, we had well over $2,000 donated. That's amazing. So I'm ready to start handing some of this stuff out.
Yeah, and we weren't really sure exactly how this was going to go this year because, you know, everything's been different. Everybody's had to adjust their lives and every aspect of each and every one of our lives. And so doing this this year, we just knew that with City Credit Union and Texoma Family Shelter that this was the best way that we could do this. And, you know, Dave, like you mentioned, over the past several years of doing the Share the Warmth coat drive, one of the two most requested items, like you said, have been blankets and socks. And that does make sense because, you know, when you're really cold, it's usually your feet are really cold. And then a blanket helps you warm up as well. And so this just seems like, you know, the best idea to be able to help out folks right here in the Texoma area. So a little over $2,000 being donated. That's absolutely fantastic. So Dave, you and I were talking a few days ago about how this is going to go. So we're going to be at the Red River Universal Unitarian Church. That is 515 North Burnett Avenue in Denison. And the way we're going to have this all set up, we talked to Angela Sharp with the Texoma Family Shelter. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have this as like a drive-through aspect. So we're doing everything we possibly can regarding social distancing. Want to make sure that everybody stays safe and healthy, but also get these brand new blankets and socks out to folks. And that's the reason why we went with the new blankets and socks, is because it's not like a new or gently used idea like we've done over the past several years with the coach jackets, hoodies, sweaters, etc. So what we're going to do is we're basically we're going to have Big Dave act like Nolan Ryan, and he's going to fire socks into your vehicle. Like he's going to
get that cannon.
Boom!
Did we get that T-shirt cannon I wanted to use for that? Were you able to secure that? I wanted to fire it into people's car. No,
we weren't able to secure that.
Darn
but
it.
Who knows what 2021 is going to be like? So maybe we can get that in the budget for 2021 to get a T-shirt cannon, and then we can stuff some socks down.
There you go. Catch.
Yes. And then have to have everybody sign a waiver saying we're not liable when we bust out a window or something. But yeah, we're excited about today. I think it's going to be one of those things to where we're going to be able to kind of lob blankets and socks into the vehicles to make sure that these folks are taken care of. Now, Dave, one thing we do want to stress is that this is a first come, first served basis type thing.
Yeah, we start at 10 o'clock this morning, and we will continue to give you a blanket and socks as you come through until we run out. I mean, so the event could go till 2 o'clock, or it can only last for an hour and a half. It just depends on how many people show up and how many people need blankets and socks, because our friends at the Texoma Family Shelter, they're the ones who, thankfully, we didn't have to go do it. They went and bought all of this stuff, right? I mean, so they had their volunteers and people do this. So I haven't even seen the gigantic mounds of stuff that we're going to have to give out today, but yeah.
Yeah, and I will say Angela Sharp, she has been fantastic. Her entire crew has been fantastic, and they do some great work helping out folks getting back up on their feet here in the Texoma area. And so, you know, by the way, they used to be the Grayson Shelter. Yeah. They help out so many folks now in North Texas and Southern Oklahoma that they decided to change their name to the Texoma Family Shelter. But even just, you know, working with them, you could just tell they're so grateful to be able to help out our loyal listeners and the folks of this area be able to have socks and blankets too. She even called me, Dave, and she was like, you know, we have a couple of beds here that we could throw some blankets on. And I said, do it. I said, this is the whole point of this thing, is to make sure that people are staying warm during the winter time. So It's going to be a lot of fun today. And here's what I suspect, Dave. I know how the Mad Rock listeners are, the Katy Country listeners, and the KLAK listeners are. They are fantastic. I mean, we've seen it with the donations this year. But I really do think that we're going to get there, and at 10 o'clock, we're going to have folks ready to get some socks and blankets. And by the way, Dave, we want folks to be able to share this information with their family and friends too.
Yeah, that's why we're posting it up here on YouTube and on Facebook, so that if you're watching this video, please share it with people you know. I mean, so that they know that they can come by and get the blankets and socks, because we want to give out as many of these as we possibly can today. But it's first come, first serve. So we just want to make sure that everybody's aware of it. They get in line. And thanks again to our friends at the Texoma Family Shelter and City Credit Union. They're gonna organize the drive so that we can just get on Facebook and be goofy and hand stuff out to people. We appreciate that.
But I will say, I'll be more than happy to fire some socks into somebody's vehicle. I will fire it in there.
That would be a brave soul that would ask.
They're like, "Hey, Zach, I'm open," and then they're like,
"Yeah." And remember, as Zach was just saying, it's not just about because we're doing it at that church in Denison. It's because it's like really close to where the Texoma Family Shelter is. Mm-hmm. So it's not just for people in Denison, not just for people in Sherman or Grayson County. It's for people all across the Mad Rock Nation, or anybody that can listen to Katy Country or KLAK. Anybody that can listen to any of our stations in this area are welcome to come and get blankets and socks today during the drive-through event.
Yeah, we just want folks that really, really need blankets and socks to come by and get this stuff. We just want to help out our friends. And that's what I love about the Texoma area and our listeners, is that when somebody is in need, they seriously just step up and say, "Come on, let's go." And I usually say they usually grab their hand and say, "Come on, let's go." But, you know, the whole social distancing thing, they just kind of, "All right, come over here and we'll get you taken care of." But we have all the information. Dave, I know you got to do a news hit with Stan Smith from News 12. Maybe we can get him to get a news reporter to come out there and cover this from 10 feet away. But we have all this information about our Share the Warmth distribution event happening today. It's up on our websites, okay? 975klak.com, madrock1025.com, and 931kmkt.com. And that's where all the information is. Dave, did I leave anything out?
No. We'll see everybody at 10 o'clock there in Denison. Come get some free blankets. It's free. There's no reason not to come. Just come and get these blankets and socks.
Oh, it's my favorite price. FREE. Free. All right, awesome. We'll see you a little bit later on this morning.